So we're trying a couple different things out here today in blue-black thing. We're maxed on Snapcaster, then gone a little bit past that even to play a couple of Jace, Vryn, Prodigy. Also trying a couple of mission briefings. There's lots of ways to flash back our spells. We also have 3 copies of Ancestral Vision here as well. Generate some extra card advantage. Got a little bit more grind than normal. See how this feels. Hoping it should be pretty good against the various control decks in the format. We'll see how it feels against some of the more aggressive or combo decks, perhaps. Snapcaster flashback mission briefing. Oh, I should hit the find match, but I was like, why isn't my match going? It helps if I click the find match button. What's going on, Quarth? Morning. I would love to play first, thank you. Easy Hearthstone hand mulligan. I mean, I guess. That's true. That's true. If we survive till 6 turns from now, these AVs could help us out. There's a deck list on your screen. If you're on mobile, you can type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list. Triple green's pretty tough. Like 5 mana tutor is pretty tall order. I guess you have tokens to do some stuff with on occasion. Take the swamp for now, I think. Get this Jace going. I wonder if we have enough removal for a matchup like this. Someone commented that we didn't have any brutalities on 75. Brutality's not particularly good here. We've only have 4 fatal pushes and then 2 dismembers as removal in the 75. So again, this is just like one of the many matchups in Modern where these Ancestral Visions are going to leave a little bit to be desired. Yeah, basically you're sacrificing consistency. You're gonna make the deck more inconsistent while trying to make it consistent, if that makes sense. Like you're gonna make the mana worse while trying to make the other things better. It feels like a kind of a weird direction to go in. Why are you seeing ads? Let me double check my... I'm gonna tweet this. I'm gonna tweet this at I'm gonna tweet this at Twitch support really quick here. So you should not be getting ads. Yeah, sure. The Cryptic Command there isn't a particularly good draw. It's better than this Ancestral Vision, but still not particularly good, right? Yeah, we had a new sponsor yesterday. We have Harry's Razors as a sponsor. You can check out all of their wonderful stuff at bit.ly/HugelShave. Use code Jeff Hoagland there to get $5 off your first starter kit order. We have very good quality products. Hey, you gotta keep the neck beard trim. If I didn't use Harry's, I'd be hairy if I didn't use Harry's. I'd have hair all up in here. Stream Decker has basically never worked on mobile. So it's like, do I play this out to get spell quellered? All right, I guess I'll do that. Let me take a peek over here. This one I assume is gonna get quellered. I kind of feel like I'm all dressed up with nowhere to go here. Just like I've got lands and I've got spells, but my spells don't really impact the board, which is where I need to be in life. How far past your chin does it become a neck beard? Asking for a friend. I feel like anything past like the chin strap I've got going on qualifies as a neck beard. You one of these wonderful orange handled razors with the starter kit. Yeah, we upgraded Arena to have modern today. In order for Arena to support modern, you have to turn the graphics all the way down. And this is what Arena looks like when you turn the graphics settings to 0. Does BCW ship to Europe? I don't think so. You can double check their website. Their shipping options should be listed on the website, but I don't think they do. They're a US company. I'm gonna get like collected company in here and just gonna like hate myself. Like I can't like I'm actually just gonna cast this Cryptic Command as a Doomblade. Just like 4 mana, kill your Maelstrom your Mausoleum Wanderer. Gorbatron, thank you for the 9-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome. It does cause some bugs. It causes it to leak more memory too. It's really weird. Alright, well, our AV's gonna resolve, but we're probably dead. Blue, white, you know what blue, white Justin cards means, Justin. Don't act like you don't know. Well, I mean, I want to say there's a chance, but we also just like need to draw more Doomblades than we probably have in our deck. Just gonna like untap and cast Drogskull Captain here and just like destroy us. Yeah, I agree, Bob. I'm really hoping Standard can stay good for a year so we can get continue playing some Arena until they get a new non-rotating format. All right, that's a thing in the ice, I guess. That doesn't really help me win the game though, right? I guess it kind of could. I don't actually know. Or like upkeep, tap the creature's draw a card here. He had a Dutch newspaper on his stream. That's fun. Am I dead? Coco. Am I dead? Okay. All right, so you're saying there's a chance if we hit a string of cantrips next turn, we could actually flip this thing in the ice and maybe be in the game. I promised blue-white justed cards, but I don't see any boomerangs, you hack. Bump the Azoni deck because green-black turtle is the best. Sounds good. Sounds good. All right, that is not the cantrip I was looking for. So 1, 2, 3. So I'm gonna play this thing in the ice, and then I'm gonna mission briefing opt because it gives me a bunch of looks. I need a discard spell. I need a discard spell or a cantrip. Lets me flip this thing in the ice here. Mission briefing mission briefing looks absurd here, actually. It's gonna give me the extra spell I need to flip this thing in the ice, potentially. And it just, like, binned 2 lands. Nope, yep, 2/3 subs are for any format. Any format. So this finds a cantrip or a discard spell. We send their board back to their hand. Alright, we flooded and died here, but that was actually kind of, like, we were, like, really behind this entire game, and, like, we might have been able to get in this if we'd have hit, like, so, like, if I would have hit a discard spell here, I would have gotten to go, or if I would have hit a cantrip, I would have gotten to go cantrip into Thoughtseize, send their board back, like, Thoughtseize them, Inquisition them off the Spellcaller, and then, like, have a 7 and 8, like, maybe my thing plus the Creeping Tar Pit could have been enough here. It would have been close, though. I'm like, it would have only been close because Mission Briefing was Mission Briefing. This would have been Snapcaster Mage, I wouldn't have even had blinds. I don't think I would want to cut Bedlam Reveler from that deck. I could see Mission Briefing being okay, but I think cutting Bedlam Reveler doesn't sound particularly good to me. You need the threat density from that card. I'm gonna bring in the Dispel, I think. Just Dismembers and Dispels over these Ancestral Visions. None of these other cards seem particularly good. This Echoing Truth is fine. Just as another way to impact the board. I can see that. It's technically 2 looks, right? Like it bins 2 cards. It's Surveil 2. Thanks to you, I traded out my Valakut deck for Grishelbrand. There's nothing like asking your opponent if they're dead on 2 and 2 and getting the response of yes. What's going on, Lumberjack? Thanks for the 6 months and welcome back. I appreciate that. Glad you're enjoying flooping some pigs into play. Mission Briefing plus Opt is 4 looks, actually, because you get Surveil 2, and then you get a Scry with Opt, and then you get to bottom and draw random as well. So, you get a lot. We had a lot of looks there. Yeah, Grishelbrand with Discovery is the last league we played through it. Had 4 copies of Discovery in it. Discovery was fine. I don't think it, like, changes it at all, but I don't think it, like, suddenly takes the deck and cracks it open, but I think it's playable. It felt like it was a worthwhile addition to the archetype. It felt like Assassin's Trophy into green-black, right? Like, I'm happy to register it, but, like, it's not gonna, like, suddenly make it busted. I mean, this hand does stuff. To, like, fetch shock Thoughtseize on 1 feels kind of bad. Loving the new standard content, looking forward to more Arena tap plans. Thanks for the 2 months, I appreciate that. Thank you for the feedback on the standard content. I've really been enjoying making the standard content, and Arena's been sweet as well, so. I might actually do, I might do a late Arena stream tonight. The green-black mid-range deck's just a very reasonable deck of Magic the Gathering cards. We played it a bunch on stream. I think it has the tools to be competitive in most matches of Magic. Has anyone added Holy Diva's red deck back to the queue? They have, actually, Beatles. I'd be happy to add those to it. It is in the queue, and that's actually getting it pretty close to the top. Does the Esper Amulet draw standard deck in the quest count as the queue count as adjusted deck? Quite possibly. All right, so I think I just take company here. I think my Magic Online might have crashed because there's foils in their hand. Yep, definitely. Magic Online definitely crashed because there's foils in their hand. You know, just the little things, right? Let's enjoy the sponsors. But I'm not gonna do a full. It's too early yet for a full shill, but I'm just gonna go ahead and get this loaded back up here. We've been pivot tabled, right? Yeah, Magic Online likes to randomly die when there's foils on screen, and believe it or not, you can't turn foils off. You can turn off the animation, but the animation isn't what actually makes it crash, just like the foils existing makes it crash. Yeah, at least my occasional crash on Arena only happens at the very end. The King of Hoglandia with the $100 donation. Thank you very much for that, Justin. That's to add your monstrosity to the queue today. No, I don't file for comp when I get a crash on foils because if you file for comp too many things for the same thing, they'll ban your account. And now Magic Online is sitting here just spinning, not logging back in. Just let me kick it and try again. At least this is for the Saheeli deck. BJ Roth, thank you for the support. Be happy to get that added. All right, it's alive again. At least when Moto dies, we can now just play Arena instead. That happens. It doesn't take that long to log back in a lot of the time. It failed to log in apparently the first time. Yay! We did it, Reddit! We did it! We cast a Thoughtseize! Do you get a discount on merch when you donate? Justin, and for the other crowns, if you'd like, I can send you some stickers and pins and tokens on the house. But as far as t-shirts and playmats go, those are made to order from another company, so I don't have those on hand. Yeah, I'm doing a lot of neat things, Bob. God bless. Actually, one of the reasons why the merch, the shirts are taking a little bit to stand up, they should be up later this week or next week, is because the vendor I'm working with is pushing some stuff around for us because they had a minimum profit margin set up in their online store that I was supposed to have to make, and I don't want to make money on merchandise. The point of merchandise isn't to make money. Y'all already give me money to keep me employed. I want people that want to be able to buy merch to buy it basically for as cheap as the companies will sell it. So they're adjusting their online sales system so I can do that. The base cost for a shirt was something like 19 bucks on their site with a $4 profit for me. So once they cut that out, we'll be able to do shirts for 15 bucks. You never got the first mat. You should message Christy King because I believe she put tracking on that stuff. They definitely got mailed out. Anna and Justin both said they got theirs. Anna and Nivik, sorry, both said they got theirs. We've tried Delve threats in this archetype before. Find it on the YouTube channel and the website. Can we ever beat this? I mean, I guess like this is basically unbeatable, right? I guess I have counter spells and stuff and discard spells, but like I just have like classic. I basically just have like classic mid-range problems. Game 1 here, where like I have 2 fatal pushes in my hand. They could just draw 0 lands from here on out. You're not wrong. Alright, I'll keep that, I guess. Microbiologist, thank you very much for the 3-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thank you for the continued support. Yep. And this is, this is one of the issues, like, it's funny, so I remember I do those peasant crowns get a discount on merch when they donate bits. I don't know what you mean, just I answered you. I said I can't give you, I will send you some stickers if you would like, and we have tokens, but I can't do anything special on t-shirts and playmats because those don't come from me. There should be a spot at checkout to use the discount code NeilDrox. Hey, we found a target for our fatal push, chat. That's so exciting. So the tokens that we have are they're kind of generic tokens. They don't have power and toughness listed on them. So they have a spot at the bottom of the token for you to fill in whatever power and toughness you would like your little gestures to represent. Yeah, Ink Gaming has pretty good pricing on things. They do good stuff for good prices. Yeah, we should have the tokens and the stickers should be up on the website by tomorrow night. Christy's got to put that together, and then shirts and stuff should be up by next week at the latest. They're not laminated, but you could laminate them if you'd like. They're a good quality sturdy token. Yeah, definitely. We'll definitely post on the socials when things are live. I'm gonna go ahead and just like do this, right? Just like take their Nykthos out. Found the meme bracket, also known as playing Modern. I think this matchup's incredibly bad for us, but like, if our opponent just like hangs out here drawing a bunch of lands, it seems decent. Especially like Mana Leak's a good pickup here. Yeah, it looks like they're probably... The Entreat the Angel is interesting. I wonder if they're just playing a Pillow Fort deck as opposed to an Enduring Ideal. We played Enduring Ideal a few times on stream before. So if we opt into our last Snapcaster Mage here, we'll have lethal next turn, which is nice. I did not Lythanol. However, Knight of Autumn seems very good. Yeah, it frees up some sideboard slots. The Saheeli deck's never been particularly good against like decks like Burn and small aggro decks that get under it, so it'll be very reasonable in those style of matchups. I'm gonna bring in the Shadow of Doubts because they're a pretty low cost of inclusion, and it's a card that effectively counters their what's it called? Their Oh, I'm blanking on the name. It counters Enduring Ideal for a turn. Oh, for that kind of stuff. Yeah, Justin, it's gonna be set up through Streamlabs. So whatever sales they're having will be done through there when they give various discounts. In fact, once I have it set up, I think we'll be able to do some giveaway stuff too through them. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think that deck has a lot of clunk in it, which causes it to lose to more aggressive decks, and Knight of Autumn seems pretty reasonable there. I don't know, four could be a little bit deep, but I think you definitely want some amount of them. I'd rather have Mission Briefing or AV here. I'd probably rather have Mission Briefing, huh? I think I'd rather have Mission Briefing. Lego Level, thank you very much for that brand new tier 1 sub. I appreciate that. Welcome. Thank you for that support. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Look at that. Boarded down to 1 AV. Have it in the opening hand. Easy game, easy life. Why do people play more than one of this card? That's so weird. Okay. I'll take it. Yeah, Unmoored Ego could be okay. I could see that, like, maybe it's very possibly Shadow of the Doubts are just, like, too cute and they should just be egos. Probably watch more than 2 hours of your content every day for a year. Happy to finally be assembled. Thanks for the support and thanks for watching. I'm glad you enjoy it. Well, and again, like, this is just like pretty classic, you know, Fatal Push, Path to Exile interactive deck type potential problem. Like, this is a matchup where my Fatal Push is a real Magic card. We're gonna be in a pretty reasonable spot. And if it's a matchup where Fatal Push isn't a real Magic card, like, do I even bother playing? So, like, I've kept this hand that's like basically four lands and Serum Visions at this point. Sorry, so I started telling this story earlier, and then we had a donation pop up, and I lost track. So at the team open this weekend, I remember we like when you're playing a team event, you like compare opening hands a lot and get like thoughts on mulligan suggestions and stuff like that from teammates. And when at one point I looked at my opening hand, and my opening hand was 3 lands, Tarmogoyf, Tireless Tracker, Liliana the Veil. And I showed my hand to Kent, and he's just like, I hate your deck. I know you keep that, but I hate your deck. And it's just like, you know, it's just like one of those things where if your opponent goes Celestial Colonnade on one, you're super happy to have, you know, Goyf, Double Tracker, Liliana. And if your opponent goes like turn 1, Mountain Lava Spike you, you're like, well, we're done here. Yeah, I could see that being good on Holy Face. Honestly, like, Grixis Delver is a deck that really loves the card Thought Scour as well. So, like, Mission Briefing in a way is like more virtual copies of Thought Scour also. Look at that. Look at all these colonnades. These fatal pushes are so live. Variance is a big part of Magic in general, right? Like, and part of that too is like you can mitigate that opening hand wrong half variance by playing decks that are more proactive. That's why decks that tend to be more proactive tend to be better and more favored in Modern a lot of the time. Decks like Burn, you look at your opening hand full of Lava Spikes and Goblin Guides, you're like, all right, let's go, this is a good hand. Whereas like decks like this and green-black, and even like Jeskai control blue-white to a degree, like these decks are full of cards where hands where you look at them and you like, I don't actually know if this hand is good or not in this matchup, so I don't know what we're playing against. It's interesting too, because like that's one of the things that like a lot of other modern games they kind of move away from. Like, did this really? I was about to tilt off this foil path, just crash my client again. You know, games like Hearthstone and Hex and the Warhammer game. Things I really like about those games is that they give you information about what kind of deck your opponent's playing before the match even starts. You get to like make informed mulliganing decisions with your interactive decks before you even start taking lines. Well, I guess Warhammer doesn't have mulliganing, but it gives you information for champion placement, which is similar. You get to like you get to start making decisions before the gameplay starts, basically, which is nice. No, Justin, I just don't cut the lines to the queue. I just add them to the stream title and load them into my deck editor. They're special, Justin. Don't you want your deck to be special, Justin? Alright, so I'm going to remand this opt and then fatal push the Snapcaster Mage. I think MTG should institute something along those lines. I think it would reduce variance that Magic has. Whether or not that's a good thing or something that you want to happen is debatable, I think. Just gonna go ahead and snap a Serum Visions here. They have Bolt and Helix in their hand, so the Snapcaster Mage is just gonna eat it here. But I think I want to just go ahead and cantrip him. Just gonna need to like work through these removal spells eventually. I suppose I could Inquisition them here. Hey, Edge Freak, thank you very much for the 2-month resub there. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So I'm gonna bottom that, top the Serum Visions. Just power through our deck here. Well then, let's avoid shuffling here for a bit. Alright, there's a Thing in the Ice and then a Mission Briefing. Sweet. So I'm not playing the Thing in the Ice now because my opponent has Helix and Bolt, so I'd prefer they're not able to draw a red source and then double kill my thing. Yeah, and this is one of the reasons why to like play the Snapcaster Mage into this removal spell here, because it means now they don't have double red removal to like potentially kill my thing in the ice, which is ideal. No, I don't think so. I think with double Colonnade in play, and like my opponent having Snapcaster Mages and like possibly Vendilion Cliques and stuff like that, I think like pushing my Snapcaster Mage is too aggressive there. I think the 3 health isn't particularly relevant. We played the Mono Blue Tempo deck on stream yesterday. You can find my thoughts on that deck in the wrap-up segment on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Jeff Hoagland. They drew a Path to Exile or a Snapcaster Mage. Yep. No worries, Scouty. I always account for some delay in that too. The delay is low, but it's not 0. Yep. Guess the Serum Visions looking for another threat. Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna like shuffle at some point anyways, so I think doing that there is fine. I'm gonna bottom this Mana Leak, top this Cryptic Command. This build kind of gives up some of its ability to push. Nah, I'm not gonna push this just yet in case they fire up Colonnade. This build gives up some of its threats to have these Ancestral Visions in it, which honestly might make us a little bit worse in matchups like this. I don't know. I guess AV is good, but like having more threat density is like also pretty good in matchups of this style. Yeah, I agree, JW. Honestly, they might just like leave this Urborg Canton and play as a think tank. I wouldn't be too surprised if they did that since they're low-key staring down these Field of Runes. Of course, Lego. Morning, Jace. Old creepy boy. You're fielding my field. Alright, so kill your Celestial Colonnade. This is aggressive, especially considering I have this Creeping Tar Pit in play. So, like, they just put themselves down a land with that play, because their Field of Rune activation isn't going to resolve because its target is now gone. So, like, put themselves down a land at this, for the sake of, like, getting my field off the table. And I got their Colonnade. So, like, their plan here is, like, draw another field and then flip Azcanta after that. But that seems like a really slow... We're just flipping Azcanta now. Interesting. That was aggressive. Okay. They have Bolt, Terminus, and one card I don't know. That's true. They could be thinking after we field their Azcanta, they can then like start attacking with their Colonnade. But like that's just like not the case because I have this last Field of Push or Field of Rune. Field of Push, Fatal Push, whatever. I have this card in my hand, okay? I have whatever this one is called. Field of Push. We've actually kind of positioned ourselves into an okay spot here, right? Like they have Bolt, Terminus, Jace in hand, but I think we actually kind of have that covered, right? Field of Doomblade, right? So if this is a Logic Knot, we get to snap Remand the Logic Knot, and they can't recast it this turn because they don't have double blue the way they tapped. Get to kind of punish them for that, which means their Jace isn't going to resolve, which means their ending hand here is going to be Bolt, Terminus, Logic Knot, which means they can Logic Knot us next turn. They can Terminus us next turn, but I think I'm okay with that. I get to draw 2 cards here. I'm going to get an attack in with Tar Pit plus this. Actually, honestly, hopefully... Oh, that's sweet. Prevents them from... Yeah, that's so good. Gosh, that is absurdly good. Give me a cantrip. Rats. So I'm going to do this. Yeah, he's dead, Jim. So we get to take their Logic Knot, which means we then get to Cryptic Command. Which means we then get to Cryptic Command their what's it called? Their Terminus next turn, which is nice. Also have a Fatal Push for the Celestial Colonnade. I think we've actually ended up in an okay spot here, huh? It's been a sweet game. If you Fatal Snap... No, so, chat, worth noting, the way my opponent did that there was sequenced correctly. So if you look back at the stack, my opponent bolted the Snapcaster Mage in response to the Thing in the Ice trigger. So if I had burned a Fatal Push on my Snapcaster Mage, the Thing in the Ice would have then only been going down to 1 counter still. So I could have used the Fatal Push to, like, force the Thing to flip, and, like, maybe you could argue that that's worthwhile, but I don't think it is, especially with the Cryptic Command set up this next turn. But I guess it would have been 7 more points of damage, but I still wouldn't have lethal this turn, right? Like, they'd be at 11, and I'd be hitting them for 10 this turn, so it doesn't kill them faster, so I think I'm okay with the line that I've taken here. Would you look at that? That's a Snapcaster Mage, chat. Alright, let's put him to 8. Got a Snap Cryptic up, and let's go. Is this a Cryptic Command? Yeah, this is still game 1. If they drew a counterspell here, we could be in a little bit of trouble, perhaps. How bad is blue-white Justin cards going to be? However bad you think, multiply it by 2. Ripped another Logic Knot. Did you read my donation for the deck out loud? I did not. Have you ever been called a hater before? You continually throw shade at me. Makes me feel very supported. Justin, I'm just honest with you. I want you to have realistic expectations for the decks that you're playing. He did put Approach the Second Sun on a deck again. Alright, so I got punished for not Thoughtseizing first. I wanted this Thoughtseize to trigger my Thing in the Ice. Instead, I get really punished for doing that. Morning, you henny. Read. Jeff, I have a secret. I've never played the bad decks I pay you to play because I enjoy winning. Justin, Believe me when I say I knew that you had never played the decks that you pay me to play. How's my day going? My day's going swell. Still early for me here, not even quite 10 a.m. It's been quite the game one here. Man, brutal. If you like games of Magic like this, you should definitely check out the current standard format if you haven't. There are a lot of control decks that are very, very good in the current standard format, and a lot of mid-range and grindy mirror matches. This is a small thing, but with Celestial Colonnades, you want to kill it when they enter combat, not once they've already declared it as an attacker, because that way, if they have to use the Colonnade to cast a counterspell, they can't attack with it for the turn. Yeah, they're pretty close to me on clock, which is impressive. A lot of people can't do that. All right, so we're gonna target mission briefing, and then we're gonna mission briefing to dig here. I don't really want either of these. I guess I'll take the Jace. And then I'm gonna Serum Visions here. Then I'm going to cast this Jace, and what's going to end up happening here is next turn we'll plus Jace, this Jace, and then we won't activate this other one. And then the following turn we'll minus this Jace, then flip the next Jace. I think we might actually run out of ways to kill them here, though. We've tried Risk Factor and Blue Red Wizards. You can find that on my YouTube channel as well as on my website, just like most of my things. Mill them. Is that a real thing? I feel like milling them's not going to be a real thing here. Yeah, I only have 17 cards left. Like, they have so many burn spells in their deck and Snapcaster Mages that, like, milling them seems really inefficient. I prefer the Jeskai Thing Ascension deck because it's got more of a combo style finish to it. Yeah, I think Stiflebird's great. I played him inside of blue-white control. I think it's very reasonable there. Jace flipping is not a May ability. Like, do I even have... Is there other Thing in the Ices left in my deck? There's 2 in exile, so I have 2 in my deck at this point. No, I don't think Jace alting's going to be particularly realistic here. You want to keep both of those, cast this up. And so, like, here's the issue too, right? Like, oh, there's 2 in exile, 1 in the yard. So, like, if I want to cast this Thoughtseize before I cast the Thing in the Ice, because I don't want the Thing in the Ice to die, but at the same time, I also need this Thoughtseize to flip my Thing in the Ice over. Yeah. Yeah, we'll play a couple more games here, but this build feels pretty medium. I mean, cutting the Delve threats for non-threats is a pretty big mistake. They've played 2 Path to Exiles and 2 Snapcasters. Something like that. Yeah, 2. So they've got 4 left, basically. And 22 cards, so... I assume we're just going to run out of threats here. Yeah, some amount of those are probably reasonable. We'll probably get to that eventually. Alright, let's draw a cantrip into a cantrip here. I just like can never win because we don't have enough threats in our deck. No, I don't think we want planeswalkers. Like, I don't think I need grind. I don't like if anything, I feel like this game should convince people like this deck has more than enough grind in it. Like, Magic players love just like needlessly putting more grind in their deck for whatever reason. I definitely think approaching it from a standpoint of we want more cards to actually kill our opponent is ideal. You have to manually clear your Twitch app cache, I believe. It's really annoying. You can also type !deck in chat to get a link to the deck list for your web browser. Deck needs more ways to attack and block. Seems very good with the second land. Get 3 looks at it. I get to put Drowned Catacombs. If Drowned Catacombs was an untapped land here, this hand would be insane. Honestly, the Drowned Catacombs is probably poop in this deck too. Should probably just be Darkslick Shores. Probably just be Darkslick Shores. I only have one Darkslick Shores, 1 Drowned Catacombs. Yeah, psychologically, like, sitting around doing nothing for a while, like, feels better to most people than just, like, winning games quickly, right? Like, decks that are aggressive spend very little time winning the game, and decks that derp around and take forever spend most of the match winning the game. So, psychologically, people are more drawn on average to decks that derp around. They close games in different ways, though, on Holy Face. I'm just so off being ghosted. A broken controller. Thanks for the brand new Prime support there. I appreciate that. Welcome. I'm gonna play one more with this, just to, like, get in. Is that the second match or the third? I'm pretty off this build, though. Feels pretty bad. That was 3. I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna be done. Yes, you win immediately or you lose very slowly. Yeah, so this, yeah, so I'm gonna pull up the build from the website here really quick. So again, this build was a viewer submitted deck list that I did shove a couple of mission briefings in here, and mission briefing is a card that continues to overperform in iterations of this deck. So the list I have on the site is similar-ish to this, except it has some Delve threats in here. I also had some Liliana the Last Hopes in this build. I think I want to fit a couple of mission briefings into here because that card's really overperformed, but again, I think just having more cards like actually kill my opponent as opposed to, you know, cards like this that just like grind out value that we like don't actually really need, right? Like we went really long against that Jeskai deck without these cards, and like then we had these cards in the late game. If they would have just like been cards that attacked and blocked, my opponent would have lost the game.